Alright, what is up guys? You already know we're back at it again with another video. And in this one I'm gonna be showing you guys how to like I guess build your characters better. Try to get get a little bit closer to that 1 to 2. Because I know when I was first playing this game, I didn't even realize maybe I was a little bit dumb, but I didn't understand why I thought my characters, like most of my characters, were like built properly, and they weren't. Because in this game you gotta like minus 100 crit damage from whatever your crit damage stat is. In games like Genshin you didn't have to. I could say I came from there before, because Genshin didn't show you the 100% crit damage, because obviously you're always going to be doing 100% of your damage, right? So Genshin just hides that 100. In this game it doesn't. So in Genshin you'd normally start off with like 50% crit damage. In this game you start off with 150. Obviously you got to minus 100 crit damage from that, because that's what you're going to be doing regardless, and you can get yourself an extra 50. So right now I'm going to be using my Chisha, just one of my Chisha's auto attacks, as a good way to explain this to you guys and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see in the top left, we got some stats like 50 crit rate, 240 crit damage, and then we have 60 crit rate, 220 crit damage. Now both these have the same crit value, but one of them is closer to a 1 to 2. So obviously you'd have to go through minus 100 crit damage from the 240, which would leave you a 50 over a 140. And then you do the same with the 60 over 220, which would you do a 60 to a 120. Now, how the best way to get like a good damage in this game and to keep consistent and have a good average damage in this game is you try to have a 1 to 2 ratio. What that means is whatever your crit rate is, double it, and that's what you want. That's where you want your crit damage to be. Now, if you have too little crit damage, you want to bring your crit damage up to that point. And if you have too much crit rate and too little crit damage, you're gonna bring your crit rate down and always try to even them out, right? Try to get them close to a 1 to 2 as possible, like crit rate, and then times that shit by 2, and that's where your crit damage should be. So what I want to show you guys, and math you can see on the screen here, I'll go through it with you guys real quick, is the average damage for both of these. As you guys will see, while you have like more crit damage up here, even though it's 20% more, the fact that you're not critting as much is gonna give you like a lower average damage. Now, I'm using like very small numbers for this. I'm just using literally an auto attack from my Chisha as the way to I guess explain this to you guys and make it a little bit simpler. Obviously, numbers will change depending on what you're doing, but the closer you get to 1 to 2, the more well-rounded and more damage you'll be. Now, this guide isn't the end-all be-all for this. You don't need a 1 to 2 or anything like that. This is more like, I guess it's just like a guide. You're supposed to it's supposed to show you what it is, so you can slowly start working your way towards that 1 to 2, right? You don't need perfect 1 to 2 to clear any content in this game. You can do it 100% without it. Now, I'll explain the math for you guys real quick through this, so you guys can get a little bit better understanding. So what you have here is my Chisha's auto attack. Now I'm just calculating one of her auto attack, just to show y'all the average damage of it. So how you do it is you want to go your motion value, or your attribute, motion value, times your damage, and then you want to multiply that by 1.7, which would be your crit multiplier. Okay, you can see crit multiplier, and you want to multiply that by the enemy's defense. Now we're going to be calculating this assuming we're attacking an enemy on the same level as us, so they're going to be taking a 50% damage reduction. You're going to multiply that by your damage bonus, so that includes, like, say, I'm using a basic attack, that includes like my basic attack bonus and like obviously my pyro bonus or fusion bonus and stuff. So my damage multiplier, and then you want to do that by 9.9, because you want to do it by the enemy's resist multiplier. So every enemy in this game has a 10% defense reduction, so you're only gonna be doing 0.9, so that's gonna get you to 917 as your average damage. Now you run the same numbers down here with a 60 over 120, like the perfect 1 to 2, and you're gonna see me come out a little bit on top, 928. Now the percentage will always stay the same. No matter what numbers you'll calculate, you always have the same like percentage damage difference. But this was just showing you guys on a smaller number, like with my auto attack, so it's a little bit more obvious, so you can tell, right? You're gonna always want to try and like squeeze your way towards that perfect 1 to 2, because the closer you get to the perfect 1 to 2, the more damage you'll do, right? And again, you don't need a perfect 1 to 2 for anything. This is more just a guide so people can work their way towards it. Honestly, in the first place, I was only gonna drop like a little bit of short just to tell y'all that you need to be minusing 100 crit damage from your total crit damage to actually see what your damage bonuses, right, for your crit damage, because I didn't know it at first. And obviously, since I got that information, it's been helping me fix a lot of my characters builds and everything, and I just wanted to show it to you guys. Now, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. If you guys like the video, feel free to comment, subscribe, let me know what y'all characters builds are looking like, let me know how many y'all gonna fix your character builds. And with that all being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Have a good day. Peace out.